Here on KHTS, each year about 795,000 people experience a new or recurrent stroke, which is the nation's fifth leading cause of death. Why am I telling you this? Well, it's not to depress you. There is a method to the madness. Melody Hallio, nurse navigator for Henry Mayo's Stroke and Diabetes Program, joins me in studio right now. Melody, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Aaron.
Of course. If you want to pull that mic really close to you. Perfect. Awesome. So, Melody, you're not here for your health. By the way, I didn't want to shake your hand because I'm getting over a little illness. What about you? If you're sick, do you go into work or do you stay home?
You really shouldn't go into work due to getting other people sick. You don't want to contaminate your workspaces. You don't want to get other people around you sick, and especially you don't want to make the patient sicker. So we advise staying at home.
Is there a lot of hand sanitizer in use at the hospital? I imagine so.
Oh, we wash our hands, I feel like hundreds of times a day. So
Really?
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome. I like that. I feel safe in that environment.
Yes.
So Melody is not here for health. She's here to do a little bit of community outreach to get the word out and to do a little gloating. For the 7th consecutive year, Henry Mayo Newhall Hospital has received the American Heart Association and the American Stroke Association's Get With the Guidelines Stroke Gold Plus Quality Achievement Award. What a title for this award. It's the world's longest title, I think.
It is. It's definitely a mouthful, but it's an amazing achievement for the hospital, and it's a lot of hard work.
So, Melody, talk to me about what this award is and how Henry Mayo Newhall Hospital has sustained this level of success and excellence for 7 years in a row.
So this award is actually a measure of quality achievement. Takes 8 quality achievement measures, and we enter every single patient into this database that's discharged with a stroke or a TIA, which is a mini stroke. And if we are meeting these measures, which is gold standard treatment on these stroke patients, 85% of the times, that's how you get this award. So we have an outstanding stroke program. We've worked really hard over the last 7 years and actually beyond. I think the program has been in business for 10 years. And getting this gold award means we do this for 24 consecutive months. So we have a very structured program. It's led by me, the nurse navigator, and our medical director, who's Dr. Schultz. And we meet weekly to make sure we're meeting all our measures.
So it's not just taking care of them when they're inside the hospital. It's the measures that you take before you discharge them out, correct?
Absolutely. It's the treatment we give them in the hospital, as well as the discharge plan, the discharge medications, and the follow-up care.
So as I mentioned before, each year, 795,000 people experience a new or recurrent stroke just in the USA, which seems like a lot. I mean, that is a ton of people. It's the nation's 5th leading cause of death. However, according to the Henry Mayo website, early treatment of stroke symptoms may mean more treatment options and a better outcome. So, Melody, let me start by asking, what are some of these symptoms that we should be on the lookout for?
Oh, we use a mnemonic to help us identify stroke symptoms. It used to be called the FAST assessment, which you may or may not have seen in the past. It's now called the B FAST, and what it stands for is B is for balance. So one of the most missed stroke symptoms is dizziness and loss of being able to walk in a straight line. This can actually be a sign of a stroke, and so we added the B to encompass those stroke symptoms that have been being missed. If E is for eyes, we also added eyes. Loss of vision, blurry vision, double vision can also be a sign of a stroke. If their face is drooping, that's the F. Drooping or on one side doesn't look symmetrical. For arms, this is a big stroke symptom, probably the most commonly known. If you put 2 arms out and one arm's weaker than the other, it drifts down. And speech, delayed speech, garbled speech, the wrong words coming out. These are the biggest symptoms to be looking for stroke. And T stands for time. Time is absolutely of the essence. That is the most important thing to remember.
So are these symptoms sudden or do they develop over time gradually? How does that happen?
These are all sudden onset symptoms. So things that come on out of nowhere, that's really the biggest sign.
And are some people genetically predisposed for a higher risk level of having a stroke, or are there measures that everyone can take regardless of whether you're genetically predisposed that can help kind of reduce their risk of having a stroke?
Absolutely. So there is a genetic disposition. If close family members have had a stroke, that puts you at a higher risk than those that don't have the genetic predisposition. However, lifestyle makes a huge difference. high blood pressure, high cholesterol, irregular heart rhythm, diabetes, all of those need to be really closely managed. Those are all huge risk factors for having any kind of cardiovascular disease, including a stroke. Also, inactivity, smoking is a big one. So all of those things, managing those things, getting active, stopping smoking, getting your high blood pressure and your high cholesterol and diabetes under control and working with the physician can greatly reduce your chance of stroke.
It's amazing to me that people are still smoking. And I get it, if you were smoking before and you're entering this new age, it's hard to stop. But I can't understand how people are taking up the activity of smoking. With all the risk, with all of the knowledge in society, I can't believe people are still taking it up.
It's crazy. I do feel like there's been a steady decrease, but it is still crazy, all of the smoking that happens.
We're talking with Melody Hallio, who is nurse navigator for Henry Mayo Stroke and Diabetes Program, doing a little flexing today for the seventh straight year, sustained success. That is a dynasty. Henry Mayo Newhall Hospital has received the American Heart Association and American Stroke Association's, get this, Get with the Guidelines Stroke Gold Plus Quality Achievement Award, which basically deals with not only how they treat it, but how they treat patients leaving the hospital. You guys set up a plan. You guys have everything prepared for these people to come back, to check in on them, to make sure everything's okay. How often do you see stroke patients after they've suffered a stroke? How often before you see them again?
We hope that our treatment, that we send them home, and the discharge medications and the follow-up prevent them from coming back with another stroke. Stroke, unfortunately, does have a high risk of reoccurrence. Not reoccurrence, but a new stroke. Again, if the lifestyle modifications don't take place, if they're not compliant with their medication, they're always at risk for another cardiovascular event or stroke.
For more information on Henry Mayo's stroke and diabetes programs, along with all the other services and community education seminars, to find a doctor nearest you and for access to all other Henry Mayo resources, go to henrymayo.com or give them a call at 661-200-2000, easiest number of all time, 661-200-2000. Melody Hallio, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, time for a quick break. Stay tuned. Traffic on the 8's coming up.